Nike is rewriting the rules of women's basketball. And at the center of it all is Caitlin Clark. Inside their Beaverton headquarters, she isn't just an athlete. She's a force of nature. Her face covers every wall. Her logo dominates every space. Executives stop everything the moment she walks in. The 2026 signature shoe being built for her? After the game, Caitlin autographed her game-worn shoes and gave them to Nora. It's rumored to be unlike anything Nike has ever produced. But here's the question. Why is Nike betting everything on her, while others who once dominated the court are quietly disappearing from shelves and campaigns? This isn't just a story about sneakers. It's a story about power, strategy, and a single player reshaping the business of sports forever. The takeover walking through Nike headquarters in Beaverton, Oregon, used to feel like entering a shrine to athletic excellence. Michael Jordan's legacy. LeBron James' empire. The greatest athletes in history immortalized on every surface. Of Luka Doncic and LeBron James with this starting battle. LeBron buries a triple, his first try. But something has fundamentally changed inside those walls. Today, walking through Nike headquarters feels like entering Caitlin Clark's personal kingdom. The transformation is staggering in its completeness. Her interlocking CC logo dominates every space you enter. The From Anywhere campaign, her signature marketing initiative, covers entire building exteriors. Security personnel have traded their standard Nike uniforms for Clark jerseys. Employee break rooms play her highlight reels on continuous loops. Executive boardrooms that once displayed traditional marketing materials now showcase her shooting statistics and performance analytics. Even the parking garage features giant murals celebrating her achievements. Nike gave Clark something no WNBA player has ever received in the company's history: total creative control over their headquarters experience. She doesn't visit Nike, she inhabits it. When Clark arrives on campus, she moves through the facility like she owns every square foot. Executives drop whatever they're doing to accommodate her schedule. Design teams abandon ongoing projects to present her with prototype sketches. The company cafeteria stocks her favorite foods from Iowa during her extended stays. Recent footage that went viral showed Clark essentially shutting down normal operations at Nike headquarters. Employees stopped working to watch her tour the facilities. Design teams gathered around as she reviewed materials. The entire building oriented itself around her presence. But here's where the story takes a darker turn. It's almost 4 stories tall. It's one of 2 advertisements on Court Avenue as part of Clark's partnership with Nike. As Clark's influence expanded, another athlete's presence began to disappear. Aya Wilson, the 2-time MVP and dominant force in women's basketball, has been systematically erased from Nike headquarters. Her posters vanished overnight. Marketing materials featuring Wilson got pulled from display cases without explanation. Conference rooms that once celebrated her achievements were repurposed to highlight Clark's statistics instead. Nike employees confirmed internally that they received direct orders to replace all Wilson materials with Clark content. The spaces Wilson once occupied now serve Clark's growing empire. Wilson's former design consultation room became Clark's private studio. Her promotional photo gallery transformed into Clark's achievement timeline. Even Wilson's reserved parking spot got reassigned to Clark's team. The building itself tells the story of Nike's shifting priorities. Every inch of that campus now belongs to Caitlin Clark, while Wilson's legacy gets systematically dismantled. This physical transformation represents something much bigger happening behind closed doors. Nike assembled an unprecedented roster of celebrity partners for Clark's promotional campaigns. Travis Kelce appears in her commercials. His brother Jason films content with her during Indiana Fever games. Travis Scott designed custom Clark merchandise. These partnerships cost Nike millions of dollars, but they showcase just how massive their investment in her brand has become. Industry veterans who have worked with Nike for decades say they've never witnessed anything quite like this. One longtime employee was quoted saying the atmosphere reminds him of only one other era in company history: the early days of Michael Jordan's partnership. That comparison alone tells you everything you need to know about how Nike views Caitlin Clark's potential. The bargain bin disaster. Walk into any major sporting goods store right now and you'll witness the other side of this story. Aya Wilson's signature shoes sit in clearance sections at embarrassing prices. Foot Locker has them buried in discount racks. Dick's Sporting Goods move them to bargain bins near the back of stores where customers rarely venture. These shoes launched with tremendous fanfare just months ago. Nike expected them to dominate women's basketball footwear. Instead, nobody wants them. Wilson's signature line now carries price tags slashed by 50% or more. Man, it feels pretty surreal to know that I am a Nike signature athlete and I have my first shoe. Stores cannot move inventory even at these rock-bottom prices. Retail managers report her shoes performing as some of their worst basketball footwear in recent memory. The products Nike expected to revolutionize women's basketball now collect dust next to discontinued models from players most fans have already forgotten. The numbers tell a devastating story. Industry sources reveal Wilson's sales fell so far below projections that Nike executives began questioning whether future releases made any business sense. Her signature line generated less revenue in 6 months than typical Nike basketball shoes produced in 6 weeks. The company invested millions in Wilson's brand only to watch it crash spectacularly in retail environments across the country. Nike's response was swift and brutal. They pulled all advertising support from Wilson's campaign weeks ago. Her commercials disappeared from television without announcement. Social media promotions stopped completely. The company shifted every single marketing dollar away from her signature line. Wilson's shoes now have to sell themselves without any promotional backing from the swoosh. Store employees confirm they receive weekly instructions to discount Wilson's inventory further. Regional managers want that floor space cleared for upcoming releases. Wilson's shoes occupy premium retail real estate that stores desperately need for products that actually move. Some locations have already relocated her entire signature collection to outlet sections permanently. Here's where the contrast becomes almost painful to observe. Clark's player-exclusive colorways already dominate NBA courts before her signature shoe has even launched officially. Stephen Curry wears her colors during games. Multiple professional players have requested special Clark-inspired colorways. Her influence has reached professional basketball's highest levels without a single pair available for retail purchase. You won't find a single NBA player wearing Wilson's signature shoes during games or practices. With the exception of her boyfriend, Bam Adebayo, her footwear remains completely absent from professional basketball courts. Players who receive free Wilson shoes through Nike partnerships choose entirely different models for actual competition. They literally have unlimited access to her product and still won't wear it when it matters. The contrast between Clark's NBA presence and Wilson's complete invisibility speaks volumes about their respective market appeal. One athlete generates organic demand that money cannot buy. The other cannot give her products away to professionals who receive them for free. Wilson's commercial disaster opened a perfect window for Nike to redirect every available resource toward Clark's potential. The company learned expensive lessons about personality and marketability through Wilson's failure. Nike executives now understand with absolute clarity that basketball skills alone don't guarantee signature shoe success in today's market. The game has changed, and they finally recognize who represents the future. Clark vs. Nike, the revolution. Caitlin Clark sat down with Travis and Jason Kelce on their New Heights podcast recently and dropped bombshells about her upcoming signature shoe that sent shockwaves through the sneaker industry. She revealed details about Nike's most ambitious basketball footwear project ever attempted. The technology going into her 2026 release makes previous Nike innovations look basic by comparison. Clark spent 8 months working directly inside Nike's advanced research laboratories. She tested dozens of prototype cushioning systems. Engineers built custom pressure sensors into test shoes specifically to analyze her unique movement patterns. She reviewed every single design element personally before giving approval. Her shooting form influenced the shoe's weight. Distribution. Her cutting style shaped the traction pattern design. This wasn't a celebrity putting her name on someone else's creation. This was genuine collaboration at the highest technical level. During the podcast, Clark explained the process in detail. She described 18 months of figuring out exactly what she wanted from her signature shoe. The most challenging part, she admitted, was balancing uniqueness with comfort. She plays primarily in Kobe models and loves that technology, but she refused to simply recreate what already exists. She wanted something distinctly hers while maintaining the performance standards she demands. The cushioning technology Clark helped develop uses materials never before applied to basketball footwear. Nike engineers created responsive foam that adapts to different court surfaces in real time. The midsole construction provides energy returns specifically calibrated for Clark's playing style. Her shoe features impact protection designed around her frequent deep three-point attempts and the quick direction changes that define her game. Then, Clark dropped the real bombshell. She told the Kelsey brothers that the technology Nike is putting into her shoe isn't anything they've ever put into a basketball shoe before. She refused to reveal specific details, saying she wants people to discover it themselves. But she mentioned conversations with Nike representatives who explained how the Chinese market responds to new technology. Apparently, dedicated sneaker enthusiasts in China will actually cut open shoes to examine the internal construction and materials. They want to understand exactly what they're getting. Clark expressed fascination with that level of consumer engagement and confidence that her shoe will exceed those expectations. Nike invested more money in Clark's signature line than any women's basketball shoe in company history. Her development budget exceeded what Nike spent on Wilson's entire campaign by 3 times. The research and development phase alone cost Nike more than most athletes receive in total signature deals. This represents Nike's biggest bet on women's basketball ever made. Industry analysts predict Clark's signature shoe will generate revenue exceeding $100 million in its first year alone. Her pre-sale registration numbers already surpass Nike's most optimistic internal projections. Retail partners report unprecedented demand for a women's basketball shoe. Clark's signature line could fundamentally reshape how Nike approaches the women's market moving forward. The advanced performance features Clark requested focus on modern basketball demands. Her shoe includes specialized arch support designed for extended shooting range. The collar design accommodates her specific ankle movement during step-back shots. Even the lacing system got customized for her foot shape and pre-game preparation routine. Every detail reflects her direct input. Sneaker industry insiders expect Clark's shoe to sell out within minutes of its official launch. Pre-registration numbers exceed anything Nike has ever witnessed for women's basketball footwear. Nike is on a mission to get its stride back. It's the world's largest sportswear company, and in the past few years, it's faced serious challenges. Retail stores already plan midnight release events. Resale platforms anticipate massive markups immediately after launch. The secondary market is positioning for what could become one of the most sought-after releases in years. Nike executives privately admit Clark's signature deal represents their most important women's basketball investment in company history. Her hands-on approach to development impressed leadership at every level. Clark attended more design meetings than most NBA superstars. She requested changes to materials that Nike initially considered too expensive, and she got them approved. The technological breakthroughs she helped create will influence Nike's entire basketball division for years to come. Jealousy, ego, and basketball. People inside Nike's inner circle have revealed that Wilson completely lost control when she learned about the budget shift to Clark's campaign. She demanded emergency meetings with Nike executives. She called company leadership repeatedly during off hours. Her representatives sent angry emails questioning Nike's commitment to her brand. Wilson's reaction showed a side of her personality that Nike executives found deeply troubling. Wilson's reputation for being difficult finally caught up with her in the worst possible way. Multiple sponsors started questioning their partnerships with her. Gatorade reduced her promotional appearances. Other athletic brands pulled back from potential deals they had been discussing. Wilson's behavior created a pattern that companies no longer wanted anywhere near their products. Nike executives grew increasingly frustrated with Wilson's constant demands during her campaign development. She criticized creative concepts without offering constructive alternatives. She showed up late to promotional shoots. She argued with photographers about lighting and camera angles on set. Her negative attitude infected entire production environments. Nike staff started requesting different assignments specifically to avoid working with Wilson. The situation became untenable. Wilson made public statements that raised serious concerns about her brand compatibility. She suggested that race explained disparities in attention between herself and Clark, telling the media that it doesn't matter what black women do because they'll always be swept underneath the rug. She claimed it boiled her blood when people suggested race wasn't the primary factor. These comments created uncomfortable dynamics for corporate sponsors trying to navigate complex social terrain. Clark's approach to brand partnerships stands in complete contrast. She arrives early to every Nike commitment. She collaborates enthusiastically with creative teams. She suggests improvements rather than simply criticizing existing concepts. Nike employees actively request a